welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I am the WrestleGamer, Double B Bowling Boudreaux. I got a panel of people here with me to review the Royal Rumble for this year, guys. And first off, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard exclusively on YouTube.com/HWR Show. He is the Illuminous One, the Shining Star, Rick Star. And as you can see, he shines so brightly, he's got to wear sunglasses.
All I'm going to say is hashtag nostalgia wins. Fans lose last night. Sorry, guys.
From YouTube.com/LanceMossTV, he is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, except for the end of last night. Sucked!
From the Houdat Temple, ladies and gentlemen, our old friend James. James, how you doing?
Yes, I'm the old friend James. That's my name right there. And Royal Rumble!
And welcome back to WGS-TV, ladies and gentlemen, MSK. MSK, how you doing?
All I want to say is I'm predicting a huge fallout from last night's show. A huge freaking fallout. And I'm doing pretty good considering I just got out of a cold.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start with the kickoff show, which featured the tag team title match, Cody Rhodes and Goldust taking on the New Age Outlaws. Now, that was a matchup I was really on the fence with, who was going to come out on top, would they keep the titles on Cody Rhodes and Goldust, or would they put it on the New Age Outlaws? And they actually put it on the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn hitting the famouser on Cody Rhodes to get the victory for the New Age Outlaws. And I gotta say, Rick, what are your reactions to the thought that, they even said it's been like 14 some odd years, between title reigns for the New Age Outlaws, which I think they said it was some sort of a record in the WWE. What are your thoughts about WWE putting the titles back on the New Age Outlaws?
My first thought was why? I really saw no purpose in giving it to them, aside from the WWE just saying, oh my god, let's give it to the New Age Outlaws because they have to have nostalgia. They have to give it to the old guys for the pop. That's what this was. This was just stupid. They could have given it to any other great tag team on the WWE roster, but again.
Name one other great tag team in the WWE roster they could put the tag team titles on.
They could have given it to the Usos. You don't think the Usos have been done great? How about them? There's one.
Yeah, but if they're both involved in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but you got to look at it this fact, though.
I gave you one.
Well, yeah, but you also got to look at it like this. The New Age Outlaws.
Wait, hold on. New Age Outlaws, what have they done in the past? In recent history? Zero. So why are they going to do it, aside from the fact that they're Triple H buddies?
Well,
I rest my case. Case closed. Done. That's the only reason why they got those titles.
Hey, well, Rick, go ahead and put your microphone just a little bit closer to you so we can hear you just a little bit better. The opening matchup officially on the pay-per-view was Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. And I gotta say, Lance, what a way to kick off officially the pay-per-view with this match. Now, if I were to officially do a predictions video, which I did not have the opportunity to do, I would have pegged Daniel Bryan to go over on Bray Wyatt, but instead they put Bray Wyatt over on Daniel Bryan. Now, don't get me wrong, I was able to see the ending parts to the matchup, and it was a really good match with Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. I gotta agree with the sentiments of some people saying that they stole the show in the opening matchup, and they literally did. They did steal it, but would you have pegged Bray Wyatt to go over on Daniel Bryan?
I actually did. James, was my pick not Bray Wyatt?
I can confirm that he did
I thought
pick
it was
Bray Wyatt.
swirly, but yeah.
He did pick him. He did pick Bray Wyatt in our show.
Of course, Bray Wyatt did not get carried by Daniel Bryan, which he tends to get done in his match. This was even 50-50. They were both putting even effort. Nobody carried anybody in this match. Basically, best match of Bray Wyatt's career so far.
Yeah, you definitely got to put it in that category. Up next, Brock Lesnar and Big Show. And with all the hype that was put into this match, to me, honestly, I kind of figured Brock Lesnar was going to go over on Big Show, but I was expecting something a little better than the pile of crap they put out there on the Royal Rumble. I mean, first off, they had Lesnar come out and just literally attack the Big Show before the bell. They had him wear him out with a steel chair just to give Lesnar the advantage. Then Big Show with one knockout punch almost knocks him out. And then it was just kind of poor. And, the commentators, they're really...
Why? There's a reason.
Go ahead.
There's a reason why, because there's reports that Big Show got injured the night before at a house show. That's why they had to do the match quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I read that somewhere.
I think that was just. I think they did that just so they can have this half-ass of a match. That's just my call. If he was truly injured, they would either just not have the match at all, because they could have done a lot more than have him get whacked 50,000 times with a chair. If you're injured, they're not gonna give you that kind of a beating. It would have been It would have been a squash match, and would have been done with it. You don't get beating, slammed over and over and over and over with a chair. That's I'm sorry. I don't buy that for a minute.
Now, I do understand the commentators, getting all excited about Lesnar picking up the Big Show and then the F5, but, it's been done before. He's done it many a times before.
By Brock Lesnar.
Matt Morgan has done it before as well. I've seen Matt Morgan in the past.
Cena. Yeah, really.
Even though it is a sight to behold, being the dude 7'4", 445 some odd pounds. But James, like I said, in my opinion, I think
when he was like,
go ahead.
Brock did it when he was like 500 something pounds.
Definitely. Well, Brock Lesnar ends up getting the victory on this one, guys. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship match was up next. Randy Orton and John Cena. Now, I can understand some of the fans out there not liking John Cena, but
it was just a plain.
Pretty much. The fans. Now, there are some fans out there that I can excuse, like last year with East Rutherford, New Jersey. Yeah, I can understand that, and some of the other crowds. The crowd in Pittsburgh, I don't know. It kind of made me wonder if every one of those people out there were on crack. Because it kind of gives you that, because there's no reason to demean Randy Orton and John Cena in that manner. I mean, they just went all out, just booing the crap out of both of them. And Rick has something to say?
Absolutely there was. I'm going to tell you why. First off, that match was drier than stale toast. Okay? That match should have never have happened. From the second that Stephanie McMahon announced that match, the fans were like, fuck you, no, we don't want this match. Okay? That's why. Okay,
but the only thing...
sucks.
Go ahead.
There was nothing good about the match. The match, everything you saw was nothing but a rerun, over and over and over again. That match could have been played on Raw. That match could have been played on the lame event.
Yeah, but here's something that I did not get. No, listen. The thing I did not get was what was the use, what was the purpose of having the Wyatt family out there other than to put a distraction? Or is WWE heading in a direction now where they want to put the Wyatt family in an angle with John Cena?
Yeah, that was to snub the feud with Cena and Orton because they needed to. It needed to be killed in the worst fucking way.
Yeah, but MSK, do you think anyone?
Heel.
Yeah, but MSK, did you? I for one, WWE can rarely put something over on me. When it comes to that, but the usage of the Wyatt family really came as a shock, in my opinion, because I didn't think they would use them in such a manner. Did you expect the Wyatt family to be out there running interference in that match?
I wasn't really, but I was half expecting them to not even to actually walk out of the building, but then I realized Harper and Rowan were going to be in the Rumble.
Rick, does this mean now that, since they started this now with John Cena, that the feud between Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan is done?
Yeah, and it is, and thank God it is. That's the point. We're starting the road to WrestleMania, which of course we're going to start with the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, we have to start new feuds, and we're going to see a whole bunch of new feuds, and it had to happen. It needed to happen, and I'm sorry, John Cena had to get away from Randy Orton. I don't care if he was fighting against Fandango. It had to happen. Maybe I'm going a little extreme there, but you get my
Rick,
point.
Little far, but just a little far.
Okay, but the point though is these guys need to get away. I mean, the feud was going on too long. It went on too long at the Royal Rumble. The fans did not want to see this bullshit match. It sucked. This match wasn't even a 3. It was barely a 2.5.
Not even a -1.
Well, let's get to what I consider to be one of my favorite matches of the year, of always, and that is the Royal Rumble match itself. I'm going to review to you. I'm going to give out the order the Royal Rumble entrants were, guys, and then we're going to talk about the matchup in itself. First off, it was CM Punk, as everyone knew. Number 2 was Seth Rollins. Number 3 was Damien Sandow. 4, Cody Rhodes. Number 5, Corporate Kane, who got quickly eliminated by CM Punk, by the way. Number 6, it was Alexander Rusev from NXT. Number 7, Jack Swagger. Number 8, Kofi Kingston. I'm sorry?
And let me put it this way, Alexander Rusev is a beast.
Number 7 was Jack Swagger. Number 8 was Kofi Kingston. Number 9, Jimmy Uso. Number 10, Goldust. Number 11, Dean Ambrose. Number 12, Dolph Ziggler. Number 13, R-Truth. 14, Kevin Nash. Number 15, Roman Reigns. 16, Great Khali. 17, Rick, I gotta ask you this, your opinion about the return of Sheamus in the Royal Rumble into the WWE. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm going to be honest with you. He was one of my picks for him to win the Rumble. I think the fact that he's been gone on injury, not because he was out doing movies or trying to win MMA and getting his ass kicked. Batista. He had a reason for being out. And I think for him to come back and win this would have given up the proper push. That would have been a proper run. But he was one of my picks.
Number 18 was The Miz. Number 19, Fandango. Lance, your thoughts about El Torito being number 20?
What the fuck? They're telling me they couldn't they had nobody else backstage that they could put in besides a little person? Really?
Well, I did say that El Torito now holds the distinction. They want to give him the distinction of being the shortest person ever in the Royal Rumble, because I do believe that El Torito is smaller than Hornswoggle.
Bingo! That's exactly why they did it. And it's just, WWE is trying to, add these stats to wow. It's come on.
That could have been Jake the Snake's spot.
It could have been.
You know what?
We're Justin Gabriel.
If you're going to I'm going to say it now. Having all these guys, the legends, come on are for two purposes: cheap fillers and cheap pops. You guys can take your pick.
Number 21 was Antonio Cesaro. Number 22, Luke Harper. Number 23, Jey Uso. Number 24, James, was JBL?
And he was gone as fast as he got in. He couldn't even have time to take off his coat.
Number 25 was Eric Rowan. Number 26 was Ryback. 27, Alberto Del Rio. Number 28, Batista, who got booed out of the building. And I still don't think that was right. I can understand fans' sentiments about it, but the fact of the matter is, fans do have a right to voice their opinions, but there is a thing as being a bit excessive, and the fans were a bit excessive. I mean, 29, Big E Langston, and number 30, Rey Mysterio. And as soon as that was announced, they just cried tears of river of tears, because they wanted Daniel Bryan out there. I mean, even after Rey Mysterio's gone, I think the fans were like, they chanted hard enough and believed hard enough, WWE would send him out as number 31. But hold your horses, guys and gals. Let me just remind you of something. Even though Batista won the Royal Rumble, yes, that is a fact. Batista won. A couple of things also know. Roman Reigns, to me, is my Royal Rumble MVP. The dude was absolutely phenomenal in the Royal Rumble match, and the fact of the matter is that he now holds the distinction of most eliminations in a Royal Rumble match. Yes, he is finally, the record that King set back in 2001 in that Royal Rumble match, eliminating 11 people in one Royal Rumble, has finally been broken 13 years later by Roman Reigns, eliminating 12 people. So that's why I give him the distinction of my Royal Rumble MVP. Rick, looking back on the Royal Rumble match, and I know that you've got a lot of negative feelings towards that, but overall, what would you say, who would you say would be your Royal Rumble MVP?
Roman Reigns. I wanted him to win it. I thought they should have given it to him, but no. What do they have to do? They had to go give it to Batista. Why? Because he had a higher pay grade. This was about money. Because Batista, and I'm going to tell you why, folks. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to spoil everyone's WrestleMania story. Batista's going to go on. He's going to win the WrestleMania title, and then he's going to do exactly what The Rock did. Because he's got a movie coming out in the summer, and in April, in April, he has to go leave to promote, get this, folks, a movie. And how better would it be best for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion to go promote a movie with a nice big title over his shoulder, guys? Don't say I didn't tell you, so guess what? This WrestleMania 30 just got spoiled by the Shining Star, Rick Starr. I told you first.
Lance, who would you
say? Not just one title, but two titles.
Lance, who would you say would be your Royal Rumble MVP?
Roman Reigns. And they fucked him.
Well, you still can't deny the progress. But the progress Roman Reigns has made over the year. And I'll be the first one to say it. When they first started with the Shield in the WWE, I was not on board the Roman Reigns bandwagon. I was not a fan of the guy. I said the dude can barely wrestle in the ring, and dude had no mic skills whatsoever. And he has just incredibly progressed so much within a year and a half in the WWE. It is just absolutely amazing how far he's gone in the WWE. I think fans were really expecting more. If they want Roman Reigns to break out, at first one would have to think they would have to break up the Shield before they would send him out to be a spotlight star.
You know what? I disagree with that. I'm going to tell you why. How would it be such a bad idea for him to win the Rumble and have him break out that way? And while he's breaking out, have Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins fight and say, "Good look, guys, you fight. While you're doing this, I got to go win the WWE title." There's
Possibly.
3 people. Why does it have to make it around him? Well, there's not that many stars, big stars, at the top. Why not put that extra guy at the top? Why do we have to give Batista win this. And you know what? If Batista really had to win, why'd they have to make him number 28? Why couldn't they put him at number 1? Or number 3?
Because CM Punk was already there. CM Punk was already named number 1. They couldn't put him at number 1.
The number 5. Why not number 10?
I don't know.
Why? He's lazy. He's lost it. He ain't got it no more.
Well, like I said, I still think we should give it a chance, though. Because you never know how
give it a chance.
Because you never know. You could be wrong with the way the WWE plays out the storyline between him and Randy Orton. Because, like I said, we still got the Elimination Chamber to go. Because, if the WWE World Heavyweight title is going to be defended in the Elimination Chamber, Randy Orton might not even be the champion come WrestleMania. They might take it off and put it on somebody else. So you never know.
They'll put it on Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan will only be champion for a month. And then they'll give it to Batista.
Yeah, but how many fans would mark out if they put the title on Daniel Bryan? A lot of fans would mark out, yes or no?
Yeah, they'll mark out, and then again, like I said, he'll have it for a month. So Batista can win, so he can go out advertise the title, so they can whore out the title.
But the thing is, Daniel Bryan can bring that kind of name value. He has the fans. He's got an incredible fan base. Does Daniel Bryan? And to me, Daniel Bryan equals pay-per-view buys. James, over to you. You're Royal Rumble MVP.
Royal Rumble MVP has to be Roman Reigns.
And finally, MSK, what about you?
I'm going to have to go with everyone else. Roman Reigns. 12 eliminations. And after he was number 15 in the Rumble. Fucking impressive.
Definitely. Well, it's time to go to overall.
You know the botches out of the Royal Rumble?
Well, working a Royal Rumble match, it's not like a traditional matchup in itself. But one thing I will say, I'll give an honorable mention to Kofi Kingston. Every year, Kofi Kingston's been in the Royal Rumble. He does something amazing. We've seen him do the handstand, walk on his hands to the ring steps. Last year, we saw him pogo on a JBL's chair from the table to the ring. What did we see last night? Kofi Kingston on the guardrail. He was put there by Alexander Rusev. He walks the guardrail, then does a running leap from the guardrail to the ring. Kofi Kingston is just...
Question.
Go ahead.
Kofi Kingston does all these wonderful stunts each and every year, right?
Yeah.
He never wins. So what do you guys think helps him? He never gets a title shot, a world title shot. But he does all these incredible stunts that's in the books. What do you think this does for his career? Really, honestly.
It makes him a person to watch. Kind of like John Morrison was before WWE booted him out because of backstage politics with him and Melina.
I rest my case.
Yeah,
but booted him out. It does nothing for... it makes him a great person to watch, but the WWE doesn't give guys like him the spot. What that does? That makes things to watch for the WWE, not for him. While he's in the WWE, it's great. And don't get me wrong, what he did was incredible. But now I want to get back to the two botches last night. Did you guys ever hear the Mr. Kennedy music coming out?
You know what it is?
The what?
No, the person who was running the stream that was on there, he was messing with everybody's heads. He was doing that. It was not on WWE. It was not on WWE. It was the person doing that was hosting the stream. He was playing tricks on everybody by playing other people's themes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's not on WWE. That was the person hosting the stream.
WWE didn't make a mistake?
No, it was the person doing the stream. He was intentionally doing that to mess with everybody. Yeah, he's done that before. I mean, I think he even did it on I'm trying to remember who else's. He did it like 2 or 3 other times. He even played Randy Orton's theme for somebody else when they were coming out first. I don't know if you caught that. WMR.
Oh.
But anyway,
I
guys.
was on WMR. So how do you explain that?
I can't.
Could be somebody else's.
All right then.
I can't.
It was Sin Cara. Mystico. He's still the man.
Mystico was in running the soundboard.
He was WWE with Mystico.
Anyway, as we get back to the review,
I'll double check the tape.
As we get back to the review, guys.
Let's talk about WWE botched up.
Yeah. Well, let's find out our overall scores.
They botched up to get Batista the win.
And find out everyone's picks for best and worst match or segment of the Royal Rumble. For me, overall, the Royal Rumble is going to get a 3 out of 5 this year. I got to say, Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, excellent match. Definitely was a really a good match in my opinion, which will probably be my pick for best match of the night for Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. It was a great match between the two guys. Worst match of the night. Probably a lot of people would expect me to say the Royal Rumble match. I will not say the Royal Rumble match. I'm going to say worst match of the night was Brock Lesnar and Big Show. That was a pile of crap they put out there, despite the fact that, whatever reports could be out there about Big Show and whatnot. I got to say, they could have put on a much better match. The matchup they did at Survivor Series 2003 when they had Brock Lesnar drop the WWE title to Big Show in that match, that was a much better match than what they did last night. They could have done so much better last night with Lesnar and Big Show. Instead, they just put out a flaming bag of poop. And I will give a dishonorable mention to the crowd in Pittsburgh because to me they were overly rowdy. You notice I didn't say honorable mention, I said dishonorable mention. I had plans, I even said it on Facebook, to be a lot more mean and unkind to the crowd. I have decided to pull that back in and decide to be a little bit more professional like that. So that's why I said dishonorable mention instead of honorable mention, instead of some of the words I had planned for the crowd in Pittsburgh. Rick, what about you? What's your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment? You know what? Let me just flat out just say match, because there weren't really any segments to talk about at the Royal Rumble. What was your picks for best and worst match of the Royal Rumble?
The best match, obviously, I have to give it to Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. I've never been a real big fan of Bray Wyatt, but I got to hand it to Bray. He really impressed me. Not really happy with the fact that he won, but I guess I know why they had to have him win, because for him to win over Daniel Bryan and then to go on with a match to with John Cena makes sense. I just hope that sooner or later they do actually give Bryan a fair shot at the title, and eventually, not even a fair shot, but a fair run. Worst match? I could agree with you with the Big Show and Lesnar match, but I got to take it a step higher, because the world title match, that was junk. That was garbage. Considering it was a world title match, they had to have the raise the stakes higher, and they didn't. That's why I'm lowering it. That's why I have to say that was the worst. It was crap. So, at least when it's not a title shot, you can get away with sometimes making a pile of shit. When it's not a title shot, you got to raise the stakes, and they didn't. They didn't add nothing different, nothing we haven't seen from someone from the Cena or the Orton match. They've done, they both have hit, the AA on each other. They both, done their moves on each other. I might as well just hit the fucking rewind button. So, see you later. Yeah, that was like a 2 at best.
And Lance, what about you? What's your overall score and your picks for best and worst match of the Royal Rumble?
Overall, I'd give it a 3. Best match, like y'all said, Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. Worst match, Cena Orton. I just wasn't entertained. Some people as personal preference.
All right, James, what about you? Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match of the Royal Rumble?
2.5 out of 5. Best match, I have to agree with all y'all, Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. Worst match, I'm going to give it a tie. I'm going to get to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match and Brock Lesnar Big Show. Both of them would even equally suck.
And MSK, you have the final word. Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match of the Royal Rumble.
Well, Of course, Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt was a match beyond a match, including that Sister Abigail onto the barricade. Ugh, I couldn't even look at that again after I saw it. I mean, that match was a 4.5 star. And as for my picks, I'm going to go with James. That's for my worst. It's both Brock Lesnar and Big Show and Orton versus Cena. Sorry, lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, it happens to James all the time.
And yeah, really, it happens to Vince more often. Anyway, but I'm gonna have to give it a 3.
Okay. I'm probably going to be ending up in the cage with you pretty much when James gets done. Anyway, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, help, is what are your thoughts on the Royal Rumble event this year? What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match of the Royal Rumble? And who is your Royal Rumble MVP? We want to hear from you guys out there. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, you can always check us out on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/hardcorewrestleradio. And anytime you want to listen to any of our shows, listen to any of our conversations, and you want to listen to both me, Lance, and James rant more about Batista winning the Rumble, head on over to our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/HWR show. Make sure you like us. Make sure you subscribe.
Lance, what can fans expect to find when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
A little bit of wrestling stuff, Q&As, NASCAR reviews, cooking videos, album reviews, and whatever else pops in my head. Come on, please. Proud.
And when he's not having homosexual fantasies of putting MSK in a cage naked with Bay Area MVP known as Will, James is in the Who Dat Temple. James, what you got coming up?
I will murder you when I see you next time, Billy. You think the duck was bad? You think the duck was bad at MechaCon? It'll be more worse when you come here again. Anyway, you can find me on uVlog, and just go to uVlog and search up the Who Dat Temple. I'll be there. We host game shows and all that stuff. And find us on the Facebook page of HWR and WGS-TV.
And Miss K, you got anything you want to announce?
I have a cold. That's just it.
Yay! Fans, don't forget to like the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFX-TV Network. So for the illuminous one, the shining star, big star, the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV is looking at gay Mexican porn right now. Our friend James from the Who Dat Temple and MSK, who's starring in that porn right now. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
And coming up this week, Billy Boudreaux will be going to see Randy Orton, who will be giving him a chair shot.
I'm gonna...
No!